how's it going? It's Sean from Retaliation Resale, and I want to thank all of you for watching the video. I'll go through the usual. Please like and subscribe. It helps the algorithm, hit the bell, all that fun stuff that everybody says. Today's video is a short sourcing video, and as most of you know, as I have said before, I get most of my books for free, and I find books all over the internet, usually the internet, Craigslist, the different apps, postings about garage sales, Facebook Marketplace. And I saw an ad on Facebook Marketplace. Somebody was giving away 4 free books. And, I basically what I do is I simply look at the book. I try to get all the information I can, the title of the book, the author, the edition. Most of the time there's no barcode. So if there's no barcode listed, I go to the Amazon seller app. I type in the title, if I know the edition, the author, and then the book comes up and I sort of, see the value from there. And this person had 4 books. She's giving away 4 books. The first one I looked at, I think it has a profit of like $2.50, and that's not really worth anything. The second book, however, that I looked at showed a profit of about I think it showed that it was listing for 55 maybe. And anyway, that piqued my interest. I went into it a little bit more, and it's not a $55 profit, but it's definitely a double-digit profit, and that was enough for me to send the person a message saying, hey, if these are still available, I will take all these books. And we had a little conversation, and I'll show you the listing. I'll show you the picture of the books. And then after I get them, I'll bring them back here and we'll scan them together, and I'll show you what the result was. Was I successful? Was I right? Because unfortunately, the thing is, when you use the Amazon seller app, you're never quite sure, because the only way to really know a book's worth is to scan the barcode. And I do that in Scout IQ. If you're using the Amazon seller app, you're just sort of entering under product information, and you're kind of trying to get a reasonable guess. So, but you can find out some things. You can enter the book and you can find out, are there multiple editions? Because usually it's the most recent and possibly the 2 previous editions. For instance, if the current edition is the 10th edition and you could sell it for $80, the 9th edition will go for somewhat less. It might sell for like $25 to $30. It's just a rough example. Don't quote me, but you'll find numbers similar to this. And then the 8th edition, probably, if it's selling, it might be selling in a couple of million as far as the ranking goes, and you might make like $2.50. So generally, you always want the most recent or one away. That's been my experience. Your experience might be different. If it is, please leave a note in the comment section. Now, I could go up there. We could scan the book. I'll say we could scan the book, but obviously you're not with me. But through the power of video, you'll see the result. But one of the things is, I have picked up books before that I thought were going to be worth something, and it turns out that what I scanned was the hardback version or the paperback version, and it was really the hardback. Sometimes hardback is worth more, sometimes it's less. It's heavier, so therefore there's more shipping. Sometimes the hard book costs more, obviously, than the paperback. It all sort of, it just depends. Everything's different. Sometimes the hardback is the initial format, and then it might be released in paperback, or there's a bunch of different things. Or it could be that nobody bought the hardback, there's tons of them, and it's the paperback, and that's the one that's worth more. You never quite know. So I've had trips where I've thought, oh yeah, this is going to be great. And I scan the book and I'm like, wait, I thought this was going to be a $30 book and it's telling me I'm losing $1.78. What's up with that? So you never quite know. But some things to take into account. I know that this person's in San Francisco. So I'm going from my house up into the city. San Francisco is surrounded by water on three sides, for those of you who don't know. Um, and it's 7 by 7, so it's kind of it's not that big of a city. It's only 49 square miles. So, but this person is over in the Pro Hill area, right off the freeway. So it's quick access, quick out, quick back in. So that's definitely something um, to consider. How hard is it going to be to get these books? If the person was in the outer Sunset or outer Richmond, it would be a different story. But person's 11 miles away. So I figure I've got a Kia, good gas mileage. Let's say in city I get, or mileage, let's say I get 30 miles to the gallon. So it's only 22 miles. Gas currently here, I think I paid $4.25 when I filled up my tank. Some of you might be cringing. Others of you might be going, oh, that's not bad for California. But I know for the rest of the country, some of you are still getting gas for like two and change. And I don't think we've seen that for like decades here in California. So, another reason not to live in California, the expense of gas. But anyway, so this person's about 16 minutes away, according to my map app. So let's just say it's going to take a gallon of gas to get there and back. Okay. I get better than 22 miles a gallon, but we're just going to round up. We're going to say it takes a full gallon. So we'll call it $4.25. So it's going to cost me, and plus wear and tear, I think when you deduct money from your taxes, they give you 52, 3, 4, 5 cents a gallon for like oil and wear on tires. So we'll say $4.25 for gas, 22 miles, we'll call that 11. We're going to call it $15. It's going to cost $15 to get these books plus my time. Or I shouldn't say it's not going to cost $15. It's going to cost $4.25, and then I will incur about $11 of depreciation on my car. Okay, that's fine. I'm on. I had a knee operation a couple of months ago, and I'm not working, so I would be normally driving to the city on most weekdays anyway. So this, I'm just kind of saying, okay, it's general wear and tear. I'm not going to worry about it too much, but something to think about. If you do a lot of driving, you should really consider using an app to sort of track mileage, like rideshare drivers do, just for a deduction to see if it's worth it. Obviously, I am not a tax professional. Consult a licensed CPA. Got to get the disclaimer in there. I don't want anybody suing me, and I don't want Uncle Sam coming after me, trying to impersonate a CPA, if that's a law. But I know you can't give financial advice because you're not a financial professional. But I don't want to be giving away CPA advice either, because I'm definitely not a tax professional. Although I can tell you about payment plans to the IRS if you want, but maybe that's a different video. So anyway, sorry, I don't mean to get off track too much. So, but anyway, things to think about. So it's going to cost me $4.25 in gas. Car is going to depreciate by about $11, and we'll see if it's worth it. Obviously, there's the time factor. This is probably going to take me half an hour to go there and back. I will be dropping off a box of books at UPS and another box at FedEx. So I have some errands to run kind of anyway. So these are all things to think about. How much is your time worth? What do you value your time? You don't need to have necessarily all the answers, but you should be asking the questions at least. Because down the road, the more you do it, the more I do it, you realize certain things. Would I drive up to the city if I thought it was only going to be worth $5? No, I would not. But I'll take a chance on a $25, $30, $35, $40 book, and we'll see what happens. So, all right, I'm going to leave my messy garage, and maybe I'll take some footage of the drive up and we'll see what happens. All right, guys, thanks so much. Okay, here's some quick video. I'm going to enlarge this a bit. That big tall thing to the left of the lamp pole is the Salesforce Tower. There's a bit of the downtown skyline. On the back side of those telephone poles is UCSF. And we just have some general cars. It's kind of funny. I'm picking up books and that's an Amazon truck. So, and we'll just pan. There's a hill, there's the freeway. There's some cars coming down the off-ramp. Okay, there you go. Get some San Francisco City flavor. I got a car coming up. Probably wondering, what the hell is this guy doing? All right, that's it, folks. Let's go home and scan these puppies. Picked up the books. There's 4 of them. And I haven't scanned them yet. I'm going to scan them in front of you. And I put them kind of in order of how I think they're going to rank or how much money they're going to be worth. I play this little game of, you know, how much I think it's going to be worth, what's valuable, what's not. Sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong. Usually I'm always surprised. So, got 4 books. An American Sickness. This one I initially scanned or I looked up on the seller app, and I think it said it was worth like $2 or something. So I know this has some kind of value. We'll see. I didn't do a deep search. It might be worth a couple of bucks merchant fulfilled and nothing on Amazon FBA, but we'll see. This book, Does He Know a Mother's Heart? And initially I'm like, okay, this isn't going to be worth anything. But then I realized at the bottom, it says, How Suffering Refutes Religion. So anytime you get into some kind of religious studies books, those can be worth something. So I put this second on my list of what I think will be worth something. This one is the Certified Quality Process Analyst Handbook. This looks like it might be like 15 or 20 years old. It's the first edition. I don't know if they came out with a second edition. So this will either be worth something or it will be worth nothing. And this is the one I think is going to be worth some cash. Population Health Informatics. It's the one where I showed you the sort of screenshot. And if the screenshot holds true, it'll be worth something. But you never know about editions and, you know, versions and all this fun stuff. So we'll see. We'll see. So let's scan. All right. Drum roll. No drum roll needed. Here we go. And okay. That's really funny because when I did the research, it said this was only worth a few bucks, but it's telling me that this has a ranking of 22,000, an e-score of 151, which means it's selling about 5 a week. Is that right? 26 weeks. And it's worth $4.79. So hopefully you can see that. So this book covers my gas. So we've got that. Does he know a mother's heart? Well, let's see. Okay, this is not worth anything. In fact, well, it's worth a big whopping 58 cents. And the rank is 8.4 million. So that's definitely not going to do anything. With that ranking, the e-score, there's no dash, or there is a dash, which means it hasn't sold anything in the last 6 months. There's 18 new copies, 2 used. Both the used copies, for some reason, are selling more than the new copy. You can buy it new for $11.30. You can buy it used for $15.36. So, all right. So that one's a no-go, and that's fine. That'll get donated somewhere. All right. The Certified Quality Process Analyst Handbook. Let's see. What do you guys think? And, oh, okay. kind of interesting. It's coming up as rejected. It's only sold 2 copies. The E-score is 2, so it's sold 2 copies in the last 6 months. So it has a sale every 3 months. Its ranking is 2.9 million. And I've sold books with that ranking before, so I'm not scared of that. It says the profit, if it's sold at $17.97, which is the lowest price, the profit would be $7.10. But because of the lack of sales, it's telling me to reject it. This might be one that I want to take a chance on. I might blow it out for $15.97 and try to make $5. And if it sits for 3 months, that's okay. Especially since I got it for free. If I had to pay for the book, totally different story. I wouldn't even think about it. But free is my favorite price. Could be worth $7.10 if I sell it at the minimum. If I undercut it by a few bucks to try and get the sale, I could make some money. So we'll see. We'll see. That might be something that I do. Well, you know, I have my storage limit is 1,000, and I have about 500 and change. So I still have enough books, or still have enough space where I can take a chance. Let's get to population health informatics. And let's see. Okay. Huh. I know you're going, huh, what does that mean? What does that mean? It means we're making even more money than I thought. Okay. $66.55 if we sell it at, okay. Let's look again. We're not making that much money. Okay. If you look, the Amazon button on the far right, the bottom right, is highlighted. This is based on $97.95, or it's actually based 10% of that. So it's basing it on that 88 number at the top right hand of the screen. But it's not going to sell for that. The used buy box is $55.83. And the minimum FBA and the minimum merchant fulfilled is $76.02. Now, there's only 9 used copies, and there's 14 new copies, 9 used copies. The E-score is 56. It's selling about 2 a week. Now, if I click on the $55.83, which is the used buy box, and it would be the lowest price, I'd still make $39.08. I don't know if this is a textbook or what the story is. I can try and sell it for more than the $55.83 used buy box. Okay? Because if it's selling a couple of copies a week, then, and there's only 23 copies, that means after 3 months, there should be no copies left, and mine would be the only one. It doesn't always work that way, but what I'm saying is there's a demand for this book, so I could try to make more than the used buy box. I think what I might do is, well, let's actually look at the Keep It chart, sorry. If we look at the Keep It chart, that black line going across, it's hovering close to the $60 mark. It's just under it, and that tells me that the used buy box is correct. I can try and make some more money if I want to and price it a little higher with the other ones at 76. I might do that. Textbook season is coming up. It's June. Father's Day was yesterday, so I don't know what day it is, but I called my dad yesterday. I talked to my father, so yay me. So it's the day after Father's Day. So what I'm getting at is the fall semester is coming up in late July, early August. I think that is how it works. So I could get this into the pipeline, maybe raise it more, or I could just list it for $55.83 and blow it out. You never know. Somebody actually might buy it and then try and reflip it for a higher price. Although if you buy a book using Amazon Prime, which is what FBA does, you're not then supposed to resell it on FBA with Prime shipping. That's against Amazon's terms of service, and they could freeze your account. They could, punish you somehow. So somebody might do that if I list it lower. I'm trying to make, some money, some profit. I'm not telling you guys what to do, but just realize that if you do that, somebody were to list it lower and you bought it Prime and then you sell it FBA, which has Prime shipping, that they could suspend your account for a while, and nobody really wants that. But the important note is $39.08 if I sell it with the used buy box. And that's what they call free money. It's 236,000 ranking, which is very low, especially if this is a textbook and there's a demand. So what am I always saying? Free is my favorite price. $39 plus the other $4. Very little work, a good amount of money. It doesn't always go like this. All right. I always like to reiterate that, because some people think, oh yeah, I can make a ton of money getting books. You can do well selling books. And finding books is not the hard part. It's finding enough books. I probably went through about 20 listings before I found this one. So not every deal is like this, my friends. Just be aware of that. But this one turned out to be pretty good. So as always, thank you for watching. I hope you found it interesting. I hope you learned something.
Subscribe.
And Linda's telling me something.
Subscribe.
Oh, subscribe and hit like and all that stuff. I said that at the beginning, but anyway, it's good that she reminds me. She's holding the camera, so I have to listen to her. So, all right. Thank you all. See you next video.